Hi everyone, it's Cindy, and I have been forever making a video. I've been sick for 3 weeks. I've had company like twice. I've been gone 3 times. We had holidays. It's just been crazy. And then in the middle of all that, I get the great idea that I'm going to swap rooms with my craft room. I have two guest bedrooms. One of them's my craft room, and there's this little hall separating them. So I switched them. So man, everything had to come out of the guest bedroom. All the craft stuff had to go in. Guest stuff had to go back in. It's been crazy. I broke a bookshelf. We're not talking about it. It upset me too much. It's one my dad made for me, but he says he can repair it. So we're hoping that. Anyway, in the midst of all that, I found things. I guess Gail calls them forgotten friends. I'm calling them just excessiveness. So let me show you. Let me grab it. I should have had it ready. Right here. And I know this video is awful close, but I'm working on the angle, and I only have one shot on this video. And if I didn't, mess up or say something stupid, you just have to forgive me. But anyway, notebook paper. And you know what? It's not really that I bought it. It's just we've had it in my family. I don't know if we were gifted it. There's a notepad. That might not be too bad. Or where, but my daughter had hardly used any when she was in school, and I don't know, it just never went down. So I don't need all this. So I thought, what can I do with some of it, and the rest of it I'm gonna take to the thrift store or whatever to pass it on to some other people that might need it. So I can't try to come up with some ideas. Okay, of what to do with wallpaper. Wallpaper. I got that on my mind, I guess. Note paper, notebook paper, lined paper. Well, the first thing that comes to mind is using it in signatures. And I don't have an example of that because I think I must have put them up, but you can get in the newer spiral books, they don't have the wire, right? They have a spine, and you can go in and cut the threads and take them out as a signature, and that's great. And this was just I had an old one of these. I had written in the front of a bunch of the front pages, so I kept those, and then the pages left over were single pages. So anyway, I have a bunch of those. But anyway, using it in signature pages is one thing. And let me show you this before we go any further. This is one of these that I bought. Let me see how close I am. Am I? Yeah. Oh, sorry about the glare. That's probably been driving you crazy, hasn't it? I got it for 10 cents, and look how wonderfully aged the pages are. And you can compare it to, I have a piece over here. This is the newer piece. It's great. And you can see I've almost used it all up in these different examples. But anyway, just want to show you that. So you can use them as signatures. And also, if you can think of any other ways to use this paper, please let me know, because I've got a ton of it, right? Okay, so I thought, we can obviously use it to back tags. So I got a tag here that I would cut out real quick. And I tried to do, get the things prepped for this video in advance, because it would take me time to cut all the paper that I'm getting ready to show you. So, yeah, I try to do all that in advance because it's going to be long anyway. And also I put one thing at the end, so in case you just want to ditch me because I don't know what I'm doing, you can ditch me. So anyway, so backing tags. And this particular digital is from Carolyn's Musings on Etsy, and it had a lot of old-fashioned images, and you'll see a lot more hopefully in the weeks to come. Anyway, I liked her stuff, and my mother's name is Carolyn, so it just was a good day when I found that. Okay, backing tags is another thing. Notepads. Of course we can do notepads. All right, so I have notepads of all sorts. You can take scrapbook paper, and you can take notebook paper and other papers too. And I could have mixed other papers in with these, but the whole theme of this video is notebook paper. So you can make notepads out of just scraps of scrapbook paper. And my Tim Holtz tiny attacher is on vacation, and when I find him, he'll be back to work. So I'm having to use this one. And sometimes it doesn't work so well. So anyway, I just staple those papers in there, and you've got something to put in your pockets. You can add some embellishments if you want. You can also do it another style. Just take a longer piece of scrapbook paper, fold it over, staple it. Here's the longer piece. And just, you know, usually when you do something like this, you're dealing with scraps of paper like this, cut-offs and things. So you just cut your scrapbook paper kind of fit. Just make it like 1/4 of an inch larger than your pieces of paper. So anyway, there are notepads. And then another thing that's fun to do for notepads is use packaging, because I get a lot of packaging because I buy a lot of stuff at thrift stores that, you know, would make great toppers for notepads. Just kind of what we just talked about, a longer piece folded over, and then even the shorter piece folded over. So here's one. Okay, and I did this one a little different. I could staple it, but since it's kind of short, it didn't give you much writing space. So I stapled it, because this stapler would reach into there, stapled it there, and then that gives me the full length of the paper to write on. So I was just going to do example of each one of these styles, the longer style and the shorter one. I think I'm getting it in here crooked. It's okay for now. The stapler barely reaches. There we go. And then I'll put all of these, the ones that say buttons like this one, actually it says lavender sachet, but it's got pictures of buttons on there. I will put that in my sewing stash. So when I do another sewing journal, I have a piece of ephemera made. And then I guess these that say satin bow, I'll put with my flower decorating stuff. Here's one that says yo-yos. Won't that be fun? It's fabric and stuff. So anyway, I just bought a big bundle of stuff at the thrift store that had all of those in there. And here's more. So I have a good collection of little bow ribbons and things. Okay, next type of notepad I was going to show you is using the cinch to make just a notepad. And I've got the backing and this and the paper inside. Now, this little piece was just what was left over from making a Halloween journal. So it's a great use of any of your leftover cinch pieces. Of course, I don't know what I'm doing making the cinch thing. I lost my instructions. They're here somewhere. I know they are, because I would not throw them away. So I'm not sure about how, do you put the back on first? And then, so I don't know. So anyway, that's why I left it for the last. I want to make one. But if you don't want to watch it, you can just stop at the end of the video. So anyway, but that way you can use a lot more paper. And I used the white paper on this one because I didn't want to waste my good aged paper. Okay, one other thing. Copy dyed. Okay, matchbooks. Matchbook, you know what a matchbook is. And this is really kind of hard. That's the back. That's why. It's really hard to see where the opening's at. But it's just a way to hold a whole bunch of paper that you can write on. And you just slip this back in there and that holds it in place. And this will slip into a pocket great, you know, just fine. Or you could glue it on and it could be a pocket, you know, coming down behind it, or it can be a side pocket as well. So anyway, I made out of a 12 by 12 scrap of paper. If you cut them 4 inches, they're 4 by 12. Then you can get three matchbooks. So anyway, very quickly show you how I did it. And you know I'm going to do it the lazy way. So I folded up about 1 inch or so. Some of them I did more, but I think we'll do 1 inch. So, and then I just put my paper in there. And I kind of measured my paper beforehand just so I would know. And it was, I think, 3.5. I don't know. But you'll just measure it to fit your scrap. Oh, of course, I'm out of staples. So anyway, I would staple that, and then I'm going to fold this over and go underneath there. And then I just fold it like that. The thickness of this is not so much that I have to put a little gusset here, but I could. Is that what it's called, a gusset or a little spine? I have room to do that here if I want to. But, you know, lazy way me. It's just it's just going to get smashed in the book, smashed down in the book anyway, so I don't need it. So anyway, that's the matchbook. Okay, now, if you want to stick around and watch me try to make this thing on the cinch, and you need a good laugh for the day, here we go. Okay, here's one. Hopefully, it looks sorted like that. Okay, I did test it out using this leftover piece. And I think I got it pretty good, but who knows what will happen in the future. And I can't remember now, did I slide it over? Okay, let me see what you can see. That's not too bad. That bar always gets in the way. Let me do it this way. Okay, now we got a little shadow. I have a lamp. Nope, it's already on. So if I turn it this way, does that take care of the shadow? Yeah, it does. Okay, maybe. All right, so what I did was I measured my thing, and it had 7 holes. I think it was 7. 1, 2, 3. Yep, 7 holes. So I wanted 7 holes. So I don't know how I figured that. I just kind of measured it to see, okay, that's what kind of paper I need. And I slid it in, and I'm not sure. So I'm going to go ahead and just burn the bottom of this one. I'm not sure if I was all the way over here, if I moved it over. I can't see from this angle. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's what I did. So what I did was, when I put it in, I could tell that my first hole and the 7th hole were going to be, like the 7th hole was going to be off the paper halfway. So I moved it over a little bit. So I'm going to say, is that the right one? This marking, which may be 1/2 inch. Let's try it. We'll see. No, it's not far enough over. Okay, so like I said, we're going to burn the bottom of this. You know, it's funny, I got it right the first time. Okay, so that wasn't over far. No, that can't be right. Oh, I had it over too far. It's kind of really tricky because it's really close. So I think it's going to be on that mark. One mark before the other one I tried. So, like I said, okay, now that's better. We'll live with that. So, yeah, I definitely would say test your paper first. Now, with the cover's bigger, so that's going to be a problem. So I'm just centering it between this notch and that notch and hoping for the best. And that's decent enough. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the back. I'm just going to center it just by the looks. We're going with that way. Close enough. It may not line up just exactly, but it'll be good enough. Now for the paper, I got a lot of paper here. Should have most of it cut. I'm going to do the same thing. I should have a mark. I do. I'm going with that little short mark there. That's the one I thought earlier. So, okay, it's decent. Short mark. So, you know, if my project was just something I could make from the beginning and I had a standard size, I wouldn't have to go through all this. So this is my problem, not the Cinch's problem. So I think I could do all the rest of these. We're going to try this, because then we get into the other thing. I don't remember how to put the back on. So the back, since I couldn't remember how to put the back on, I decided that I would make the back white, and that way it can be a page. If I get in the wrong place, it's just a page. But I thought it went on first. Or does it go on last? I can't remember. See, I was thinking it went on last. All right, we're just going to try this. And like I said, if it's terrible, I just apologize, and we'll just learn together from my horrible mistake. And that's the way, to me, you learn best, is just getting out there and doing it. And you remember more when you have trouble. I remember years and years and years ago, first had computers, there was such a thing called AppleWorks. I would take that home without a computer at home. I'd try to learn it. And all the times, okay, on this, it's got a flat bottom, so I think that goes here. And I put the width of it. We're hoping for the best. Okay, it didn't work. Why did it not work? Is it because I had it turned? Okay, we'll try again. I don't think that's right. Oops. Look at that. It's just all coming down. Oh dear. Like I said, watch at your own peril. Anyway, I would learn AppleWorks from just had the manual there, and it's supposed to do this, but it won't do this, and then you realize, oh, it's just a little bitty thing that's gone wrong. So how do I put this back here to close it? If I turn it up, then I lose them all. That's not right. Oh, I need my manual. Oops, I'm losing them again. I know y'all are saying, do it this way, do it this way. I'm terrible. Okay, it almost worked. It worked, sort of. Now, will my back go to the back? Oh, look at that. It worked. Okay. It may not be the prettiest punch, but it worked a little bit, so let's look at it. Okay. Scrapbook paper, and then there's my back, and then I have all this in the center. So I could put this in a pocket, or more likely use it as my Christmas shopping list. So, oh my gosh, thank you guys for watching. I didn't have any new, I guess, what you would say, products, but other than maybe this, not that this is new, it's just a way to use your scrap things. But I think we did talk about some ways to use some notebook paper. So if you think of anything else, please let me know. And this video is not near as long as I thought. I will see you guys later. Bye.